Do a quick introduction. So we are the Shire Marketers. We're doing an online lunch and learn, and I'm going to kick off with the very first tip, which is on planning your marketing strategy. All right. So anyone who's doing marketing here, the very first pillar of any sort of marketing should be strategy. So my name is Christopher Melotti, and I'm a consultant and marketing advisor for Christopher Melotti Consulting. And so, as you can see, my tip here is when people say strategy, they often think it's this crazy big 20-page to 50-page document, and it doesn't need to be. All it needs to be is simple, bite-sized, and directional. And what I mean by that is you can see here, the best thing you can do for your marketing before you get to all these lovely people in the room is to identify things that you are going for, right? So set 3 business goals for the next 6 to 12 months and be specific. You know, those SMART goals. And all you need to do is basically set out those. So you need to say, what's my revenue going to be in the next year, right? The next 6 months to a year. What products do I want to launch? What audiences do I want to reach? What objectives do I want to get to? What positioning do I want to achieve, right? Because what you need to do, and as you can see from my second bullet point there, is all the executions should come from this strategy. There is nothing that kills marketing more than when it's like a fire hose out of control, where all the tactics are all firing at different angles. So sit down and make sure, even if it's over the next few months, especially over the December period when things get quiet, that is your opportunity to sit down and build your marketing strategy. So things like vision, where are you headed in the future and what drives you? Your mission, what do you do every day to achieve that? And your 6 to 12 month goals for your business. So they can be anything that's personal to you, but then you'll see from the next people that present is that all of it stems from there. So your messaging, your design, your emails, your website, and all of that come from executions around your strategy. So that's all I'm going to say from here is make sure you plan your marketing strategy as the very first step and break it down into 3 business goals, plan it for 6 months, build your tactics from there. That's it from me. Thank you very much. Alrighty, moving to tip number 2, over to Amanda Defries.
Hey everyone, I'm Amanda from Savvy Design Solutions. I'm a graphic designer and I've been successfully running Savvy Design for over 20 years. Live in the Shire as well. And here's my quick DIY tips for you. So choose consistent fonts and colors. It's a simple, easy step that you can implement into your business straight away to get consistency across your brand. And why does it matter? It matters because your brand and your colors are like your brand's outfit. It's almost like the personality of the brand. If they're all over the place, it's just going to look messy. But when you're consistent, what happens? You look polished, you look professional, and people start to recognize your brand instantly. So keep it simple. Pick just 2 fonts, one for headlines, one for body text, and consider the size of them. Heading should be bold and bigger. I recommend 12 to 16 point for print, 18 to 24 pics for online. And body copy, don't make it too small. If it's too small, people simply won't read it. But if it's too big, it's going to look a little bit like a school project. So that's in regard to your fonts. In regard to your colors, just limit yourself to 2 or 3 brand colors and include a neutral. And remember, colors aren't just decoration, they set the mood. So blues say trust and calm, green says growth and eco-friendly, red says bold and urgent. And when you use the same colors, like your fonts, across socials, website, email, people start to recognize you instantly. Just like we know Coca-Cola and they're red and Cadbury and they're purple, we know those colors, they're instantly recognizable. So with the fonts and colors under control, your business can go from DIY to polished and professional instantly, which leads me into my tip number 2. And it's following on from being consistent. Great way to do that is with your brand style guide. Brand style guides are so important. It's kind of like your brand's rule book. It'll keep your logos, your fonts, your colors, those that we discussed in tip number 1, my first tip, as well as your imagery consistent. And consistency, what does it build? It builds recognition. So that's what builds the trust in your brand. And that's what makes your business look professional. Now, when I create brand style guides for my clients, I like to go deeper. I provide multiple logo variations, color hierarchy, full color palettes, fonts, image guidelines, all of that. But you don't have to do that. You just have to keep it simple. So you don't need to start where I do, but you just need to make a start. And that could be something as simple as an A4 page. Write down your logo, stick to one main version, label your 2 to 3 brand colors, and use them everywhere. Outline your 2 fonts, the ones for headings, the ones for body text, and add a quick note on the image style you'd like to use for your brand, whether that's clean, bold, lifestyle, whatever suits your brand and is right for it, use it. And by having this brand style guide in place, it means no matter who's working on your marketing, whether it's your team or an outside supplier, they can use this as a reference guide, and that's what maintains the consistency in the brand. So even with this simple guide, it'll give you structure, it'll make your brand consistent, and it'll instantly lift the way your brand shows up. So if you don't have a brand style guide yet, start today. It's as simple as that. And watch how much more professional your business will look. And now I'd like to hand over to Alan.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alan Barnett and I run Webbird Digital. We've been in business for about 12 years. We're based locally in the Shire, in basically the middle of Miranda, pretty much across the road from Westfield. So I want to talk about a couple of things. Firstly, the idea of thinking from the outside in, and the second one is about how people read websites, right? So the first one, think from the outside in. So what do I mean by that? So we meet with a lot of different people. We've been doing that obviously for many years. We meet them often either online or in their office or in our office. One of the things we ask them is, what do they want on their website? What do they see as being the key drivers of success? So we go through that and often turn things around and say, okay, what do you think your readers want to see on your website? And how are you reacting or solving their problem? Because that's what a website is for. And what by that I mean, for example, I think of pizzas, and a great example of Naples in Italy is generally regarded as the home of pizza. In Naples, they don't use pineapple on pizza, and generally across Italy, pineapple is absolutely unheard of in Italy, right, on pizzas. In Australia, your pizza shop will probably go broke if you don't have pineapple, ham and pineapple in particular. So it depends what your market is. So you need to make sure you are selling what the people who come to your website are looking for. That's critical. So you need to be thinking from the outside in, because in all honesty, guys, we as business owners, we tend to live in bubbles. We're looking from the inside out. We're thinking about what we want to sell, what products or what services we want to sell. Critically, the other side of that is, what do people come to us to find, right? So you don't want to sell apples if people want to buy bananas. So you need to know your audience and your market operations and your market opportunities. That's critical. So what do you do about it? Put some thought into it. Who are you thinking? What do you think people come to your website are looking for? How well do you react to their needs and solve the problems? And what you do about it is, if you need to change some things around, just go to your web developer, or if you know how to do it yourself, make sure you respond to that. The second tip is, we go to that slide, where to show your important information. So I'm going to ask you a question, if I can, very quickly. When we read books or something in Australia, do we read right to left or left to right?
Left to right, Alan.
Thanks, mate. Left to right. So guess what? When people go to your website, they also read your website left to right. And that's been showed in many, many studies. We read left to right. I think in Japan, they actually read right to left. So they're probably looking at the other way around. The implications of that are, you basically need to have your most important information probably running down, looking firstly at the top left-hand under the banner image, and then on the left-hand side of your website or web page, right? So you need to get the important stuff where people are going to be casting their eyes first. That's where the readers are influenced. That's how they make decisions. Remember, When we look at analytical data on website readers, etc., a lot of people jump off within a couple of seconds, right? Because they haven't seen what they're looking for on a website. To try and improve your basically your readers staying online longer, you need to have the important information showing very clearly on the left-hand side, as well as maybe moving across the page for the least important stuff. For example, your high profit areas, left-hand side, low profits, right-hand side, etc. What do you do about it? Get your web developer to change around your website. Think about what's most important to you and your readers and go from there. Now I'm going to hand you over to, sorry, mate, who said that? Angela, there we go.
Hi everybody, I'm Angela Melotti and I'm from Melotti Content Media. I'm a message marketing and content marketing expert. So I too live in the Shire. We work with lots of local businesses and beyond, and we help with creating content for websites and brochures and brand messaging. So my tip number 6 today is aligning around a unified message. What does this mean? So basically Amanda spoke about brand guidelines for fonts and colors and logos and things like that. Unified messaging is that for your words and your text and your tone of voice and things like this. So the tip here is about establishing a central point of reference to clarify what your brand is about. And the purpose of this is that you want your brand to be speaking a unified message. We want to speak holistically about what the brand is doing, and we want each of your individual team members and partners to be doing the same thing. It's about creating consistency, which is then touching on that recognition piece and trust that we touched on before. And when I say partners, that's then passing this on to all the different partners who are in this room as well, who might be representing your brand. So we want to make sure that everyone is singing from the same hymn book. So this applies for personal brand as well. So if you are, a single business person, you might be pushing out your personal brand. So we want to make sure that your, messaging is out there and singing the same tune. That could be on your LinkedIn and social media, things like that, which we'll get to. And then this, as I said there in the point there, clear brand helps consistent messaging across all channels, which is those LinkedIn, and leads to website, brochures, and things like that. So that's my tip. I suppose the way to implement this is establishing what do you do? What do your customers want? How do you need to speak to them, and making it relevant to them? So that's probably the important tip from me. Thanks, guys. I'm going to pass on to Anastasia.
Thanks, Angela. Great tips, guys. Hi, all. My name is Anastasia, and I'm photographer and videographer from Baluka Media. I work with businesses and corporate teams and help them to humanize their brand. And once you have beautiful logos, branding, messaging, you build your website. And the main part, we need to remember that people trust people. So to make your website very personal, that brings huge differentiation on the busy digital market and helps you to stand out. Photography makes your social media and website real, personal, authentic, and video is amazing to show your personality, your voice, and energy. Both these services can show real people, real services, and real results behind the business. For example, a single warm headshot on your website or LinkedIn profile can create a feeling of safety. Photos of you in action, meeting, chatting with clients, creating, thinking, leading. Show who you are before you say a word. A short intro video about you and how you started, why you started, behind the scenes to showcase your workday or your services, a warm thank you message to new clients. These type of visuals humanize your business. They make you relatable, real, and approachable. Because once your audience sees your eyes, hears your voice, and feels your passion, you are not just a service provider anymore. You're becoming memorable, trusted, and chosen. And that's your superpower. And from here, we go to tip number 2 from me. And here I just want to highlight that something was often overlooked. The fears, doubts, and unspoken concerns from our potential clients. We all hear them, even if they're not said out loud. I will use a few examples from my industry. What if I don't look good on a camera? What if I spend money and regret about it? What if I'm awkward? I don't know what to do with my hands. What if I can't say a word in front of the camera? And these fears, I believe, are the biggest blockers to trust and conversation. So the best video content you can create, which speaks directly to these fears. Again, I will use my use my industry, but it's relates to any service-based industry, especially. So it's frequently asked questions videos, reassurance videos like, you don't need to be perfect. I guide you through every step along the way. This is success client testimonial stories. I was nervous too, but I'm so glad I did it. The reason for this is when someone feels understood, they feel safe, and trust always begins with safety. So I truly believe that in the world full of filters and AI-generated photos and videos, in over-promising sales pitches, the real differentiator is authenticity. And people want to buy from brands they can trust. They want to feel confident in their choices. And that starts from how you show up online, wherever it's you're a sole entrepreneur or you're leading a big team. Your face, your voice, your story, it's the most powerful trust building tools. So from here, I would like to hand it out to Bianca.
Hello, I'm Bianca from Be Thriven, and I am also working. Well, I am not entirely located in the Shire. I'm actually in Mortdale, that's where I live. But I work from Inspire Co-work in Miranda, so that's why I'm part of the Shire Marketers. And we do organic social media and email marketing. So basically, make sure that the audience that you speak to, your leads, your customers, that you're always top of mind for them. So let's look into tip number 9, stand out and connect. So the strategy, people like always wonder, what do I actually post about and what is a good strategy for social media? So here it is. Always make sure that you share testimonials and client stories, because when someone recommends you, they probably look up your website and they look up your socials. And if there is nothing to be found, if you've got an average website and you haven't posted for, let's say, 6 months, it just doesn't build trust and credibility. So testimonials and client stories are super important. Same as case studies, that where you actually have like the problem that they had, the solution that you gave them, and the result. This is like a strategy that you want to put down for case studies. And so that is just really important to share. You don't obviously want to do that only alone. So you also want to share some tips. So like give them some education of like, why are you like, like what should you do in like in your industry? Like give them some advice, because people love to get some free advice behind the scenes. So like maybe like when you go out for a team dinner or when you are working on a project, just like some posts like that to build more trust and sort of like a relationship with them, I would say. Something quirky. So I think you figured already, I say some funny words. Like my intro was very funny, and that is because I'm German and it's not my first language. So I always say some funny things. And I'm probably known for that, but when I do videos on social media, I usually just keep it in because it's just who I am. So just be yourself, be authentic. I mean, of course, you still want to say like the right thing, but yeah, just be you. Another thing is write down the FAQs that your clients or your leads ask you all the time, because then you can just share them on social media and you answer their question directly before they actually reach you. Yeah, so that is tip number 9. Let's move over to tip number 10. As I said, we also do email marketing. So let's talk about newsletter timing. It's something that we get asked all the time. So there is, as such, no particular best time. It depends really on the industry. So if you are in B2B, let's say you are an accountant or so, you want to send it midweek between 10 to 11 a.m. But also test this, right? Could be that maybe 12 p.m. at lunchtime works better for you, or 9 a.m. works better. So we've actually have one client where 5 p.m. works the best time. So just, for example, MailChimp has got like depending on the version that you have, you can also see when is the best time to send it. So they will actually automatically let you know. But yeah, just test it out as well. For B2C, do weekends or evenings, because that's when people are usually home. So we've got a chocolatier who we're working with. And for him, we send out the newsletters at the weekend. We send out the poster out at the weekend. It's because it's when the people are most active and have time to look at it. So always put yourself into the shoes of your customers and leads. As I already said, test and track. I mean, see when you get the highest open rates and what's your subject line as well, right? Like that makes a huge difference to your newsletter. If your subject line is very average, let's say would say September newsletter, like I don't know what I'm gonna get there. So and then also with clicks. So is how many clicks can you get in your newsletter? Like what sort of links do you put in there? Make sure you've got call to actions in there that people can actually click on there, book a meeting with you, visit our socials, like any special offers that you have. Yeah, so really just like a lot of people don't take the time to review their reports for newsletters and for social media. I highly recommend doing it because you save yourself a lot of time if you know what actually works best. And that is me.
Alrighty, that was a rapid fire. Well done, everyone, and keeping on time. That was excellent. Well done, Shire Marketers. So first and foremost, thank you all for coming, and we'll open up to questions in a second, but you can find us at shiremarketers.com.au. The best part about what we do is we work either individually or collaboratively, and you get, as you can see, 6 specialists that work on your brand, so rather than one big agency where you get lost. And so the thing is that some clients in the Shire come to, say, me for strategy, Christopher Melotti Consulting, then I send them to Amanda, who then does the artworks for them, and then Angela and her team do all the writing and the marketing, and then and so forth and so forth. And so collaboration is really, really key. So Shire Marketers, is there anything else to add? Otherwise, I'm going to open it to questions. I'll look at the chat, but feel free to unmute, and can I take full advantage of this time? Because this is literally free marketing consulting in the next 15 minutes. So this is your chance. Does anyone have any questions? It's fine. If you don't, it's all good. I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, Belinda, go for it. You're up.
Could I just please thank everybody? I appreciate it. And I just wanted to call out that the little sessions that you help with, particularly in my business, I listen to you, Chris, on your pitches. I certainly listen to Bianca and Alan a lot because they're in our chapter. And I've recently met Amanda. I'm listening so much to more about her, and met Anastasia last week. So I actually know everybody in the group, which is amazing. Do you know that your tips have been very valuable in my business to grow it? So I actually talked about the left to right. I talked some of the things that Bianca talks about, and it gains my business. So I really appreciate that. It makes you very, very referable. And I just wanted to say thank you and appreciate you all.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's great. It's great feedback, great news. Does anyone else have any questions at all? Okay, Emma, I just wanted to ask how to align messaging when you have multiple service offerings or diverse customer segments. Great question. I can take this one if you'd like, or Angela, do you want to take this?
Oh, you go for it.
Okay, so this is where every business has multiple different customer types and segmentation. So the idea behind my suggestion is you do an overarching message, right? So you have this overarching brand identity, and then what you do is you segment into each of your customer types, and then you adapt that message accordingly. So then the way that it rolls out, for instance, for Alan, would be to have your overarching message on your homepage, and then it helps people navigate to the individual pages like on the services page that speak more directly to the customer type themselves. And that can be used across many different things. Like if you're working with Anastasia and you're doing a whole bunch of videos, you can do general brand awareness videos, which have your overarching message, and then you can have videos that talk to specific segments. So it's a tactical thing as much as it is an execution thing. Does anyone else have anything to add to that answer? Otherwise, we'll go to the next one, and I think I'll throw to Bianca. Chantel, hi all. Do you think social media is a must for to do nowadays for successful marketing strategy?
Thanks, Chantal. Really appreciate the question. Yes, like I mean, I think I went into the example briefly of, let's say, John down the road recommends your services or your product, and then they're gonna look you up, but they see that you've posted the last time 3 months ago, and that doesn't build credibility and trust. So you really need to be on the forefront there and make sure that you share like tips, testimonials and be credible, because if you're not showing up on social media, it reflects badly onto your business. Because if you're not organized on your socials, like it reflects like that you're not organized in your business. So do I want to work with someone who is not organized? So that's how I see it. I don't know if anyone else would like to add anything to it.
I'll probably add. We like to talk about things from an omni-channel approach. And so, marketing's not a silver bullet, but if you can touch on each of the expertise in this area, and you do something in those spaces, you're increasing your chances of successful marketing because every piece makes a difference. And when it comes to social media, having, a broad spectrum of different social media channels, and then that consistent messaging, that consistent design work, strategy, having a really good website, having great photography that touches on all of that aligns to create a really well-constructed business plan and marketing strategy, which then your external customers will see that, and that reflects really well. And it means they're more likely to find you. And that's that omni-channel approach of, if they, walk into a room and they see you, and that way you feel confident because you know that you're doing things the right way on all levels.
Love it.
So I quickly add to that actually, like so many times, like obviously we are active on socials as well. It would be bad if we would do social media for others, but not for ourselves. So many times when I walk into a room, people say, I actually haven't met that person. They're like, I've seen you on social media. I was like, oh, great. Well, I don't actually know you, but that's really good. Obviously, the strategy is working. So
it's disconcerting, isn't it? I walk into rooms and I go, oh, hi, I'm Chris. And they go, oh, no, I've been following you for 9 months.
Yeah, but you're the orange brand. I'm like, oh, yes, that's me.
Oh, it works.
Yeah.
More questions?
Yeah, I brought lunch.
Oh,
there's a question in there from Laura as well.
There's a few.
And Patricia as well.
Patricia. So we've got, hi, since we're in the final stretch of the year, I'd like to ask, what marketing trend do you think businesses should be watching right now? I'll let everyone share this around. For me, I'm really excited by HubSpot's latest Loop marketing, which only came out like on Friday. And it's a new approach to marketing. It's quite complex, so I'd have to go into it, but have a Google Loop marketing. There's a really cool video. I might share it in the notes so everyone can watch it later. It's only 15 minutes. And it's I shared it with my team yesterday, and I'll reshare it. Sorry, and I'm still sharing my screen. So Patricia, that's how I would answer it, and I'll share the video below so everyone can watch it. Anyone else from the Shire Marketers have that before we get to Laura's question?
I would probably like to add, like for social media, a lot of people think, it's a quieter time, December, January. Should I actually post or not? And it's really important to be consistent because the algorithm just drops you down to the bottom again. So when you start reposting, then maybe start posting again in February. So like you want to do it for that reason. But the other reason is decision makers are actually looking for to make purchase decision in January because they actually have time to look at stuff. So don't skip the social media in December, January because you think, everyone's on holidays.
Yeah.
Can I just add another comment there just quickly for Patricia? Patricia, I was reading a couple of articles last week that people, the consumers and businesses have started spending again.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
right. So that's important because then you have to think about, okay, where are they spending their money and how do I take advantage of that? For example, do I start more social media, more posts? Do I do some Google AdWords? Do I paid advertising, this sort of stuff? Where are they spending their money and what can we get, what proportion can we get for our business?
I
Yeah.
think my 2 cents worth on the trend thing is that a lot more people are searching for what they need through AI, through things like ChatGPT. And so instead of naturally going to Google, where Google has its own AI prompts in there, people are saying, what's the best sweater that I can purchase out there that's going to do A, B, and C. And
Mm.
so it's the algorithms are leaning into not just keywords anymore, but into valuable messaging. And that's where a lot of what we're seeing from a messaging perspective, that having really good content that answers an AI question beyond just a few keywords. And the keywords are still very important, but it means that you have to have really good, valuable content that answers those questions in depth, rather than just putting a few keywords. So I think that's a big trend that we're going to see more and more of.
Yeah. And Anastasia, did you have something? I think you
Yeah,
started.
about marketing trends. So in my industry, it's video taking over, and Reels and YouTube. A lot of businesses investing in these channels as well, and we have organized half or full day when, based on the scripts and themes, we create up to 50 videos, which can be really good investment across multiple platforms for multiple use as well.
Nice.
Anyone else, Amanda?
Yeah, just a quick one on Anastasia's point. Can I just say that if you want a video on your website, what you want to do is actually set up an account on YouTube or Vimeo and have your video on one of those forums, and then the developer can pull it into your website. If you try and embed it into your website, it's going to slow your website down. Okay, a quick tip. Thank you.
That's a smart tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Laura has an email here. Hello, thank you. Do you offer packages for new businesses to work with several of you? Is this available on your website? Yes. So yes, you can jump on our website and learn more. We'll also be sending you an email after this with some information. But absolutely, Laura, and for everyone listening, we do absolutely do new business work as well. And so it just depends on what you need. So if you want to reach
Yeah.
out to us, or even if you start with me, and the reason why is because I can assess what you actually need. And that's usually where I start, is I can sort of have a general chat with you, no obligation, no cost. And we have a chat about what your business is, what you're doing, how you're doing it. And then what I can do is I can make some suggestions on how we can help you. But we do, like Angela and myself, work with startups all the way to News Corp. So we have, and it's different projects and things. So that's how we can definitely help. Anyone else want to add anything to that from the Shire
I
Market?
think the beauty of it, I think what the question was also, do you offer packages to work with several of you? So we've all got our own businesses, although we're all part of Shire Marketers. So we prefer work for each other all the time, and we're very good at working out, as Chris said, start with him and what you actually need. He'll be able to assess that, and then he can easily point you into the right direction of who you need to talk to with our group. And the beauty of that is that we know each other so well, we know each other's businesses so well, and we work together very well, that we can point you in the right direction. And if it's not the right fit for, say, me, I can say, well, maybe you need to speak to Anastasia about imagery. Like, there's no sort of holds barred. We're very open and transparent with each other, and that's why this all works so very well.
Great response.
Yeah, I think
so Laura, no one be afraid. Like, don't be like, I know with small businesses, there's a lot of people that go, oh my gosh, if I speak to someone, I'm going to be sold to, or anything like that. We're not about that. Like, I know, I get it, because like when you speak to someone else in another industry, you're like, oh, can I contact a lawyer? Or can I contact an accountant? Are they gonna lock me in? But that's not what we're about. We just want to help you, especially in the Shire, get results and what's going to work, and make suggestions. And that's why we put this webinar on, like to give some free tips that are DIY, so you can take and run with them. But if you need a little bit of assistance, we can help. Sorry, Angela, I cut you off. Sorry.
No, just saying, I think what I wanted to reiterate what Amanda said. We pride ourselves on being transparent about pointing you in the right direction for what marketing you might need for your appetite, your goals, your business goals, and all of those things. We do consider all of those things. And as Chris said, from, a startup business, new business, to a medium sized to larger. So we're all very adaptable. And Amanda said, we all work very well together. So.
Anyone else before we wrap it up? We made great timing. I think I got everyone's answers, everyone's questions.
Yep.
Everyone good? Last chance. Wait, there's one more. Oh, you're welcome, Laura. Okay, well, I just wanted to say a big, big, big thank you to everyone. So is there any more slides? Yeah. So what you can do is you can scan this QR code, visit our website, follow us on socials. We're always around for the Shire, and thank you everyone for attending. Really appreciate you being here with us. I hope that you got some good tips here. We will send the recording out as well as a follow-up email. Please reach out to any of us if you wish. We're not scary. Thank you, Belinda. The gift of knowledge. Love it. And it's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone.